I have been asked to talk about making micro points. So, I have a point I'm working on here under a microscope. Here's some more bifaces. I have in progress all sorts of little materials. Brazilian agate, jasper, alabates, quartzite, more jaspers and Burlington. Anyway, so start with little flakes like this. I go through my rock pile and I find pieces that have really interesting and dense coloration. Think a piece like that, or this. I take little flakes and that's where I start. Okay, so we have our flake here. First thing we do is we're only going to make a point probably about that long, so I can just kind of scrunch away what I don't want. Just taking little flakes, shaping this up. Basically, I'm doing what I'd be doing on a normal point with percussion, just with pressure without any magnification, because it's a lot easier to abrade and apply more force just in your hand. We have this very fine abrader here, which basically makes a finer edge and helps with the scaled down work. So everything I do is pretty much same as making a normal point. It's just all scaled down. Just zigzagging this edge, making my freeform. Sometimes I'll try to snap it in half just to save some time, get the stone smaller. Don't really have to worry about saving width or length because I'm trying to make something that's tiny. I think there's a flake in my finger. Okay, got this mostly thinned down. I'm going to do last bits of pressure work on it, get it properly thinned. goal, get this as thin as you can. Because we're working at a weird angle under the microscope. Nice and thin. Thin up the base. See, took some good flakes off there. It's about as thin as I need it. Now, time to put it under the microscope. So I have it set here under the microscope. I can't really film through the microscope because I'm napping. I'm looking through it, and my microscope isn't that fancy. However, I've got my pressure flaker here, nice and thin. Kind of wanted equivalent size. Everything's scaled down. Here's my little notcher. It's a welding rod, filed flat. So now I'm setting up for the next set of flakes. Now I have to adjust the focus a tiny bit. Now, look at the end vertically to figure out where I want to thin. Right now, the tip right here is pretty thick. So go braider. Take it. Sorry, it's out of frame. Take it out of frame. Take it and look. It's easy, and braid it in front of me. Go ahead and take a flake, kind of just pressing it down and using the softness of this leather. I have a really fluffy leather pad to kind of support the flakes. I took that flake, so I clean up the edge. And set up the next platform. Really, you kind of have to work and make everything just right, because your room for error is much smaller than, say, on a normal point. Put on in and just kind of braid. There I go. Get the convexities and stuff as best I can. take my tool, just kind of use a whetstone. So on a very fine edge. If I'm working a really small point, I'll even go to the point of taking and using a strop to polish the edge so that I have a really fine, clean point. And I'll often do it even with a point like this because you still get kind of a burr on the tip. And just having a smoother point is kind of useful here. Let's focus back. Okay. So I have this platform here. Just gonna take and remove this flake here. Yeah. One disadvantage is copper tends to warp when it's this size, and so you have to be a lot more precise in your platforms because your tool's significantly weaker. There we go. Cut off a little flake and I just kind of brush it to the side. You may be wondering why I have this stained black. Well, it's a simple thing. When you're looking at an object, your eyes adjust to the levels of light coming in. So if you have, say, a white knapping pad like this, you're getting a lot more light input, and that's distracting for your eyes. But I have a black knapping pad like this. Not only is there less light input, and most of the light coming into your eyes is coming off this point here, so it makes the point more vivid and it shows the details better. But also you have the contrast between the point and the knapping pad, which just makes noticing all the little details that make the points accurate that much easier. When you're playing with something as small as this, and this is actually pretty large for a micro point, but you need to be able to see what I'm doing, at least somewhat. You're playing something this small, every tiny bit counts. So probably can't see it. Right there, there's a tiny little hinge. So I need to take a flake from here and come across and cut that off as best I can. Let's go right. Make sure we're in focus. The camera's kind of zoomed in a bit, so it doesn't have great focus on things, but just have to work with it. See, so get it here, down with our finger. Shoot, when it gets small, I can use my fingernail like that, just kind of press it down. Press off the flake. and actually hinged it there. See? One thing you can do, you can often come and pick off the hinges. Often they'll straight hinge will travel a bit. There we go. See, I picked off the hinge and the flake traveled all the way to there. Got what we needed. It's not really noticeable. It's the type of hinge where a large fingernail hinge, if you can get and add more force to it, the crack hasn't quit running. It just ran out of force behind it. If you can reapply that force, you can keep the crack going, and no one will be the wiser. Take it out. It's kind of a braid. Let's see, braiding there. Very exciting. It's more, except the base. Now we need to work on this side. So we're gonna do some edge work, just kind of cleaning up the edge, preparing some platforms to smooth out all the mistakes. Anyway, so lots of little tiny flakes. Most of the flakes you take under here really quite tiny. So do some more work. I'll get back to you. Okay. See what we can do. Kind of different. I'm used to with a microscope. But my phone's in the way. See what we can do. Just working on edge work. See, now we have braided that. Flip it over. Down. See how we went. Yeah, it's doing okay. Not great, but you can see how the issue's a little better here. Yeah, come on. Here we go. Don't have like a converter or something to how film through microscope, so just kinda, we're just playing with it so people can see how I do this. See? My head against the microscope. I'm gonna move it, so I have to gonna get used to looking through my phone camera and napping like that. Okay. I'll come back to that. We want to take this flake here to smooth this out. That's right here. Just gonna plug in. There we go. That's smooth into there. Come up from here. Take another flake. You can find the platform. And you take a lot of flakes that just kind of slip off the edge. See how there's already kind of a burr there on my tool. You have to press it every few flakes. I'm using about 1,000 whetstone, and the smaller you go, the finer grip you want to use. See all cleaned up. Abrading again, because that's, well, habitual. Probably didn't need to. I'm gonna do it anyway. That went short. See, the flake only went to there. However, to help isolate this and create a ridge here, there wasn't really any. So we're going to come and again isolate that a little bit more. See, that's a bit more isolated. It might get up to there, but it'll probably just go here. Can't really take super long thinning flakes. At least it's harder to take super long thinning flakes. Knapping your pad. Over. There's our platform right there. Sorry for my ugly fingernails. That's what I get for being a napper and not a hand model. See? Really get any flakes, you can see how it's all distorted. Back to clean it up. We're gonna leave the tip a little bit thicker this time because we're taking a heavier flake. See how it is. Go. Let's get in here. Come on. This is some heat treated elevates. And it's easier to and it's cooked, so it's pretty easy to work. However, it's slippery. Keep slipping off the edge. See, didn't go very far. A little bit further. Not a great flake, but come back here, see if we can amend the situation. So that cleaned it up. See, that came up to about here. Cleaned up all that nastiness. See? Let's get my, where is it? Not sure we can pick off this hinge. Kind of pop it off there. See? I should sharpen it up. Okay. See if we can finish picking off this hinge. So you can see all those little metal. Oh, we don't want this. There we go. See, that's nice and clean. Okay. See, thinning it down. Look at the edges. Just kind of move it around. Figure out where. Take some kind of where I want to take some blending flakes. Just want a nice smooth finish. Okay. Come on. There you go, do a little tick flake. Here we took that little bending. See, there's a little hinge there. In the normal point, you wouldn't even notice that. But the micro point has to be perfect. And a little flake there. See if we can come in from here. And that got rid of some of it. We'll come back to that. There, little bitty flakes. Just smoothing everything out. Okay, that was a nice one. That went to there. Go. There we go. Take that little flake there. And cleaned up this side a bit. See, there's still a little lump there, which we don't want. We want this point. So if a mouse came, needed to go to war, to have a fully effective little arrowhead. Want the sharp, clean edge work as best as you can. Nice flaking pattern. See, this side's nice. That big flake there really helps. That one there. That's the one that I hinged earlier. Let's see. I hinged there. And I applied force and it carried all the way across. Just gotta learn how to deal with problems. See, it's easier to see stuff on the red than super bright stuff. So I think we might try for Calf Creek. They have a fairly high failure rate when you're notching. However, always go smaller. You have lots of room to go smaller. Lots and lots of room. That's how I made that point that was less than a millimeter long. I kept snapping a point in half. The point started off, well, the flake started off about that long. I broke it in half probably 5 or 6 times. First couple times it was frustrating, but then I just had fun. So why not? Alright, do a little bit more edge work. I'll get back to you. Alright, I'm back. Take a little break. See right here? See right there? It's kind of curved and there's a lump, so we need to sort that out here real quick. See, this right here is a bit lumpier than I want. Big concavity where I took that flake off. So we have to straighten out the point. See? It's all kind of curvy. Braid. Go. There. That came into there. And I have to pick it off. You get a lot of these little fingernail hinges working under here. See? That's too small, I can't pick it off. You just have to come off when I notch it. Sorry about that. Microscope went a little bit. Oh, wonky. There's a very small margin of error for where this looks through the microscope well. On. Come on. There we go. And we got this hinge here we gotta get rid of. We'll smooth it out. We're gonna notch up through here so it doesn't have to be pretty. We just need it to be thin. So we'll smooth that out there. So when I take this flake here, it will run a little bit. Here and keep it thinner. Because notching these calf creeks fairly tricky. And braided there, you can see. Flip her over. One of the disadvantages of working under the microscope, see, there that went, is you can't really look from the edges. You're kind of looking straight down, because when you focus a microscope, you have a very thin focus. So if I bring this up here, it goes out of focus. So there's a very thin layer of focus that I have to work within to see what I'm doing. Very exciting. Here's my little tool. Always zoom. You see? Zoom. Zoom in a little bit. Ah! Sorry about that. When you zoom, it changes where the lens is relative to camera. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. See, that's kind of not pretty. Do some trimming in here. Your tacking hinge, sometimes it's good just to smooth stuff out and create a bit more mass in the area where the hinge is. I gotta sharpen my tool again. It's very, very long, tedious work. I'm gonna take some blending flakes up into here. These don't need to go too far because you have a nice flake across the face. Nice, right into there. Take another one right there. Good. See, those flakes are actually really tiny. See it make a huge, each tiny little flake. Difference. You're smoothing out because you're smoothing stuff out, cleaning up the point. There we go. Okay. You have a little crystal pocket there. Those are always fun and points. Probably wouldn't even see it if it was a normal size point. See how the edge is doing. Let's take a flake up into here. See what we can do. It's harder to gauge where you're working off the center line on stuff this small. Of course, center line moves with the point and the angle you're taking your flake off. So you have to play with that too. And not a great angle for what we want. Right, take some couple more flakes. Go. This will definitely be an interesting video. Haven't really videoed me working much before, but I had a lot of people ask how I make micro points. Figured I'd give it a try. Nice thing about this, you don't really have to worry about silicosis or anything, because really not making any dust. Debitage just stays in the tray. So you can do these inside rather than out in a shop or wherever you work. Well, there, see, that smoothed out a bit. We have a ridge here. We can take a flake up. See if we can do a little bitty flake. Braid. Sorry we're jumping in and out of focus. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. You're working this small. Well, that. A little bit of a hinge there. I don't like that. See if we can pop her off. No, that's not coming off. One thing about this, you get little marks of metal everywhere on your point. Kind of rub them off. Okay, we're going to take a flake right there. Run off my pressure flaker. Constant battle keeping your pressure flaker happy. See, and got, here's our little platform. Flake. Go. Hey, cut off. I think cut it. No, I'm not sure. Can't really see if there's a hinge there or not anymore. I think I got part of it. Just a little fiber from that. From the leather stuck on my knapping pad. Not my knapping pad, my pressure flaker. No. Alright. You get the gist of this. I'll come back at the final edge work and than the notch. Welcome back to Zellman's micro knapping. So at the stage, we're just doing little bitty edge work. Little tiny flakes. Pretty much can't. You occasionally do very light braiding, but you don't do braid a lot because you're just doing edge work and everything's scaled down. Because edge work, this, so much smaller than the edge work a regular size point. In fact, the main work on this is smaller than a lot of edge work that you do on a regular point. See, I'm just going jack, just like barely taking off flakes. You're barely applying any force, just very delicate. Taking little flakes. You just want this point to look like a point that's 4 or 5 inches long. You just kind of shrunk down. That's the goal. You took it. You want it to look absolutely as perfect as possible underneath the microscope. So when you're looking at it with your without any magnification, they look just absolutely perfect because the mistakes are just too small to see. That's what I'm going for. See, we're getting a little better. It's pretty straight. This side needs a bit more work. Doing Alright, need to press my tool again. If you're gonna learn to do micro points, you're gonna spend a lot of time on your tools. dash of abrading. See where got a platform there. So we got a platform here. Just gonna pop a little bitty flake off. Bit more. Straighten out the point. See, the flaking is a lot straighter now. Okay. Off. Move this you bump the microscope a millimeter. It messes with everything. See, let's go back to my point. One flake at a time. Right? I think you get where I'm going with this. I'll be back when it's time to notch it. Okay. We did most of the edge work here. Cleaned it up. Now it's time to notch. Most dangerous part of making the point. Okay. Come on. There we go. Got a notching tool here. A bit thick, but you nudge it just like a regular point. Make sure to support it, hold it tight, because work extra hard. Get these flakes to go. Go. See, just like that. Flip it over. Take a little screwing off flakes. Flip it over. And just keep going. And go a little bit longer. Then I'm gonna go finish it up off camera because it's just easier to see that way. It's potentially easier to see stuff on this red side. See flake, like they call them. Come over here, take your flake. Nice little routine cone. The sooner you can get these, the easier it is to notch. Hold it down. Your notching tool. Take your flake. Down. Notching tool. Take a flake. Square it off. When these are square, they tend to wrap around less. Helps keep your notching nice and neat. And wrap. It's not good. Take your flake. That platform kind of crushed. Anyway, take your flake. So I'm gonna finish this off camera so I can see what I'm doing better, because I just crushed the platform, so I gotta go deal with that. Not bad, I'll be able to fix it easy. It's just gotta see what I'm doing. I'll be back when she's done. Alrighty. I finished notching it up. And here it is. Just little notches on it. Nice edge work. Flip it over. Good. Nice little calf creek point out of some alabates. Anyway, see you at the edge of a dime for scale. Here's Mr. Roosevelt, I think. Here's Mr. Calf Creek. See, there he is. Tiny little Calf Creek. Some thin, notched pretty well. There you go. Till next time.